Shout new start. How many of you holding on to that right there? Yeah. It's not an accident that I don't know where this is coming from, but we're going to pray it out. All right? We're going to pray it out. When I saw say new start, we been kind of stuck in a lot of documentaries and interviews and stuff this week. And usually when the Lord start doing that, he's trying to show me some principles. So I started looking at the Jacksons. How many of y'all remember Jackson 5? How many of y'all remember the Jackson family, period? The whole family. You think that's accidental? You think that's accidental, that whole family doing that stuff? You think that's accidental that everybody in there has that gift? Okay, but what we got to realize, the gift still would have been laying dormant if somebody didn't discover it. It still would have been laying dormant. How many of you know how they started? How many of y'all know how the Jacksons started? All right. You saw the movie? That ain't accurate, sorry. But they actually started. Now watch how they walked into destiny. You ready to hear this, man? Their TV broke. The TV broke at home. They had no entertainment. So the boys would be singing around the house, and the mama heard them. And then told the daddy, these boys got something. Okay? The daddy was already in a little group, so he knew about music. But if the TV wouldn't have broke, all right, I'm gonna come over here. Y'all ready? I'm gonna see if they ready. If the TV wouldn't have broke, you wouldn't have never saw Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. If the TV, something bad, something that they, especially as kids, viewed as, golly, the TV is broke. But through that TV breaking, destiny came forth. So once destiny is okay, they singing around the house. They singing around her. Mama hear this. She like, whoa, these boys got something going on here. But at that time, you still don't have Michael Jackson's Thriller. You just got Michael Jackson, a little 5-year-old. But in him is Bad, Thriller, Billie Jean. Ooh, everybody did y'all know y'all had them gloves and socks. Y'all know y'all had them. You only wore them on Saturdays because you be at home. You put this little sock. I did. Boy, I had socks, gloves, the whole thing, black jacket, everything. You don't understand it? Give your children a history lesson when you leave here. Let them see what's going on. Because Michael looking like, look, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just waiting for you to use me. That's all I'm waiting for. So I started looking at that. So in this little boy was all of that was in him. Y'all hear what I'm saying? All that was there. But it took him being around the right people at the right time to unlock it. Okay, so there were stages to once the mom heard the sound, she knew it was something to this. But the first thing that they began to do was rehearse. The daddy spent all the money he had to get equipment because that's how much he believed in what he heard. He didn't just talk about it. I got some boys that can sing. They can sing nice. He put his treasures behind what he believed. Okay? So what ended up happening, check this out. So they ended up doing this, right? So check this out, man. This was real good right here. I listened to an interview that Michael Jackson did in 1980. And the people were always trying to press on him that, didn't you feel deprived of a childhood? Didn't you feel deprived of a child? And he was like, yeah, I missed some things, but I enjoy my life now. He said, yeah, I missed some things, but I'm enjoying my life. They kept trying to make him not enjoy, tried to make him feel bad for what he sacrificed. Okay, so they kept, don't you feel like you? He was like, no, I enjoy my life. But you didn't have a childhood. He said, I know my childhood wasn't like everybody else's, but I enjoy my. He kept trying to tell the lady, but she kept trying to tell him. Wasn't that sacrifice too big? Basically what she's saying. But you enjoy everything I do. But you're telling me how I should have sacrificed. That don't add up. So we're going to go a little deeper. So what ended up happening is, watch this, baby. This was funny to me right here. He said the kids used to laugh at them every day because while they were playing, they were rehearsing. The kids would look in their window and laugh at them because they were outside playing, they were outside running, they were outside, but they were rehearsing, preparing, sacrificing, putting some skin in the game, not just talking about it. So he said one day they came home and their dad had got new instruments. He had packed it all on top of his Volkswagen, called a little bus looking thing. Little van bus, that thing ugly as something. I looked at the picture. But you know what he did? He strapped everything on top of it and said, we're getting out of this village. We're getting out of this village. Because everybody in this village doing the same thing. We're about to be different. So they strapped up, they got their stuff, they took off. They went into this audition. They're in this audition. They got one shot. And that was the day they let little Michael loose. 5, 6, 7 years old. Let him loose. So now they're interviewing them. Aren't y'all jealous of Michael? I'm like, why y'all keep trying to make an issue when these people saying it's not an issue? So the older brother was like, look, that's my brother. Why would I be jealous of my brother? He said, we wouldn't be who we are without him. We understand he got the most energy of all of us. So what they did, they recognized he's the one and they pushed him forward. But the media kept trying start problems. So they end up going, they're going to get a deal. Now it came to another tough spot. Because the brothers were cool where they were. But Michael saw something else. They left one village. Now Michael's about to leave another one. Ooh, I hope y'all catching this right here. They had left one village, right? Gary, Indiana. Everybody, it was the same. They left that village. Now they have their own village. So everybody cool, like this is good. We great. Jackson 5 forever. Mike like, I'm not fulfilled fully. There's some more stuff in me. So he went to the group and he told them, I'm hearing different sounds that I feel I need to put together. So instead of him just being a singer, he spent hours, tens of thousands of hours in the studio with Quincy Jones learning to produce while the brothers were out playing. You see the peeling off? Y'all better, I'm going to go through this, man. Y'all really hearing what I'm saying? If you hear me, let me see your hands. You hear me? You with me? So he began to hear. Shout hear. He said, I'm hearing different sounds. I'm hearing different combinations. I want to try this. They had been broke up for a while. And I want to try this. But he had to make a decision because he didn't know how the brothers would take it, that he could feel something. So what began to happen? Is he began to push forward. So now he steps out and gets his own deal by himself. So he's left 2 villages for greatness. Name the other 5 people in the Jackson 5. Uh-oh, y'all kind of, what is that? Yeah, you know you're a true fan. You know you're a fan. Probably had them on your wall, high five them every morning before you go to school. Jackson 5 there, boy. So what ended up happening But as time goes by, some names begin to fade. Did they not? But who did you constantly hear? Over and over and over. Because he realized, I got to get out of this little village. So by the age between late teens, early 20s, as the Jackson 5, they had toured the world 3 times. The world. Not the state. Not even the nation. This whole globe. They've been around it 3 times. That made me feel like, what in the world am I doing with my life? Come on, man. That's how I saw it. We might, oh, that's cool. No, I'm like, what in the world am I doing? Because we have this village mentality. My block. Your block? How many blocks do you think is in this world? Your block. My hood. Wake up. Wake up, because I promise you, he's calling you out of that safe place. Because that place doesn't challenge you, so that's why you like being there. That's why we like being in places that don't challenge. We get in a room where we get challenged, we leave and don't come back. People over there tripping. People ain't tripping. They trying to pull you out that village. Messing with me. I know. I know. You know what? You still in the village. So now you be. So let me stay on track, because I can feel y'all trying to pull me somewhere. So I started looking at this thing. They've been around the world 3 times. Shout 3 times. This is a real world. They've been around 3 times in the early 20s. Early 20s, I was tripping. Bad. I didn't know what. Let me stop that stuff. But that was terrible. You understand what I'm saying? But at that age, why? Because they were early sacrifices. The number 1 word Mike used, you ready for this? Discipline. Oh, we don't like that song. We're going to write down. You know what? That's why I weigh what I weigh, because I ain't got no discipline. I be trying. It's just stuff he calling my name. So Mike came from, watch this, singer to record producer, writer, who in 10 years sold 93 million copies. Meaning, what he created went into the hands of 93 million people. One person. I'm trying to tell you, you're that important. You're that important. Don't look at it as he. No, me. I can do this. The area that God has put in me is just as effective as he put in anybody else. Now it's time for me to bust it open. And when I say bust it open, I think we're really dealing with today is busting out of the village. Have you ever had an idea and somebody ask you, why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that? And right at that point, you feel yourself go back into the village. You was about to bust out that gate. You were looking at that gate. You were looking at it. It was shiny too, boy. You finna bust right through that. Why you going to do that? What you mean? What you see something? It ain't going to work? What you mean? Why you say? They don't see what you saw. We waste so much time trying to convince somebody of what I saw instead of doing what I saw. No, you got to see. Because what happened? Then the next day, did you get it yet? Because you got to see. And we haven't moved trying to convince people of what I'm supposed to do. Why am I trying to convince you of what I'm supposed to do? Is it slowing down in your mind? You grabbing this thing like, whoa, we done it. I'm done. I'm trying to convince you. Maybe I'll feel better tonight sleeping knowing you like what I'm about to do. That's that village. I got to be okay with the village before I move. Numbers 13. Look at the scripture here. Numbers 13. Look at verse 32. I want you to hear this spirit talking, because this spirit talks. He has a language. This spirit has a language that comes out of people's mouths when they agree with that spirit. That spirit of the small village of the push down. Here it is. So they brought the Israelite. Okay, they brought the Israelites an evil report of the land which they had scouted out, saying, the land though through which we went to spy out is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. We know this is when the Israelites got sent out to spy out the land. Verse 33, watch this. There we saw the Nephilim, or giants, the sons of Anak, who come from the giants, and we were in our own sight as who? That's the language of that spirit. I see myself small. That spirit makes you see yourself small. What's the next line say? Now you believe everybody else see you that way. In the midst of that, you have Joshua and Caleb who are talking different. They brought back a good report. They went and saw the same land. They went and saw the same stuff. And they brought back a totally different report. But the people that was so caught up in that little village, because that was a little village of people who were down, see themselves as grasshoppers, they want to kill the one who said we could do it. In those type of villages, if you're the one who says you can do it, be prepared to be stoned. Man, y'all looking at me crazy. You know why you haven't felt a stone hit you in the head yet? Because you haven't done it yet. I promise you, when you make up your mind to go do it, you're going to feel a stone. But if you keep bucking and bluffing, they ain't going to throw no stone in. The stone is going to come when you walk out the gate. You hearing me? I got to push past this gate. Because this has been keeping me corralled for too long. This has been keeping me corralled. Think the same way. I see everything the same way. I can't do this. I can't do that. That's the language of that Hivite, parasite spirit. That's the language of it. We were in our, you hear this? I'm just I don't know if those kind of words come under that spirit. So you grab a hold of somebody who ain't scared, and they'll step out the gate, and then they scare you because they stepped out the gate. You like, whoa, he crazy, ain't he? No, he not crazy. He just stopped being scared. How many of y'all hearing that? I'm wearing a shirt right now because a brother and sister stepped out the gate. Stepped out the gate. Like, baby, we gonna run for it. He was faster than her though. She's slow. You see what I'm saying? Somebody finally stepped out the gate. Now, one thing I'm gonna help you with this. There's certain things you can't even see inside the gate. Your eyes change once you step out. Whoa, man. When we got off the plane in Amsterdam, I was young, so I really didn't care about that stuff. I just want to get back to the United States. I was stupid now, and I think that I'm grown up now. That was dumb. I enjoyed it, but I didn't take advantage of nothing. I was trying to save money. I wasn't buying no souvenirs. I wasn't doing nothing. So I'm walking around this place, and I'm seeing stuff I like. So I'm so twisted in the mind because I got this village mentality, brother. I'm way on the other side of the world, stealing. Oh, you was? Yeah. Hey, I had some money, right? But it was something I wanted to do when I got home to my car. Y'all hear this mentality? Do you hear this mentality? It's past some years now. I can't get arrested for it. It's old. Another country. So I'm over here, and I'm looking at souvenirs, right? And I'm like, man, how much that thing cost? Man, I'm trying to save for this thing when I get back from my car, man. I'm not finna buy nothing. So I went down to the breakfast area. They had nice little cute gold jelly jars. I said, Grandma, I like that. I'm being honest, man, because it's village mentality. Way in another country. Unsaved, y'all. I wasn't saved. Come on now. Give me. I wasn't saved. I ain't know Jesus Christ. So ashamed of my pastor. He makes me ashamed. So I'm over here. And I get those things, and I put them in my bag. So I see some little spoons. They had little engravings on them and stuff. Mama got them in her house right now. You know what I'm saying? Go to jail. She said, I sure do. She ain't nowhere. But this village This village mentality. I'm way in another country, but I'm thinking so small. Come on, y'all. I'm walking past the Eiffel Tower, can't enjoy it because I'm thinking about a 1984 Grand Prix when I get back, what I'm going to put on it. I'm walking past the Eiffel Tower. That didn't faze me. Man, when is last games we can get back across this water, man? Why? Because I'm in a whole nother experience with the same village, small mentality. While we over there, I'm telling you, I'm tripping. We over there, the whole cast. Y'all remember Steve Urkel? Y'all remember the show when he was in Paris and teleporting back and forth? Y'all watch Family Matters? They were shooting at there. So we met the whole cast. I'm standing there with a man. I'm still thinking about this stupid 1984. So I didn't buy a camera to take the picture. I'm in the gift shop. And I need the camera because I'm in another country. I get some McCollum pictures, man. I ain't buying that stuff, man. Why? Because I'm still thinking about this little bitty village back over here. When I have the opportunity to experience another side of the world. So we finally get past SCW. And my aunt, Taylor's mother, Taylor and Josh's mother, big into the Word of God. She was one of the people that had the Bible in the top of her head. She could spit stuff at you. So when I stayed with them for the summer, I noticed how much she loved the Word of God. So I'm thinking about her, and I'm in a hotel.
Cut the story off.
When I got back, I presented that Bible to her so proudly. And Sharon, I was thinking about you. And she opened it up, and the Bible was in like 3 languages. And I'm going to learn these languages. And she hugged me. I was like, yeah. Why? Village mentality. So when I get back, I finally get to my Grand Prix, bro. Jacked it up, put my rims on it. Started riding. Didn't even like the doggone rims once I got them on there. Because how many of y'all brothers remember them baskets? You had baskets. It wasn't the 30s, it was the baskets. So you had that center cup. You had that big screw that had to go through there. And that dang screw fell out every other day. So I'm just upset. But now, years later, I remember what I missed. Because of this village. Think small. The wrong things are important. Mentality. So I got over there. I balled. I handled my business basketball, but I didn't really enjoy it. So I made a vow in my heart. I'm going back in this new mind. I'm going to go back over there one day. And I want to visit those places I took for granted because I didn't understand the sacrifice in the early days. Because I believe the Bible talks about where God can redeem the time. And there's some times in my life I need that time redeemed. You understand what I'm saying? It's in Ephesians. He said he redeemed the time. I need some of those times where I was playing crazy man to be redeemed. You understand what I'm saying? So I started looking at those things and I started seeing this village mentality, this small thinking. It's a plague, especially in the church. Because the enemy has told us we can't have anything. You can't be anything. You can only be this. And that's a lie that we believed. I want to see something here. This ministry, I'm going to tell you what, this ministry has the organic soil in it to birth freedom, liberty, watch this, and entrepreneurship. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just it's ingrained in this ministry. How many of you since you've been have thought of ideas? Like, oh man, dang, I think I can do that. Now we finna kill that gate. We finna tear that gate down that keeps locking you in. All right? Because if he lets you see it, he's telling you you can see it. That's how faith works. God won't show you something you can't do. Okay. How many of y'all with me? It's amazing, man. I tell them when I go to Hope Resale and walk around, I'm like, man, I can't believe this place is really here. Because it was a conversation at one time. Think about the school. It was a conversation at one time. This stuff was a conversation, a thought, and you could see it. So now everything you see, stop putting it on hold. Stop putting it on hold for other stuff. What God has shown you, that's where your pleasure going to come from. That's where your peace going to come from. It's not going to be stressful. How many of y'all with me? Okay. So what we say about the Jackson boys, what they do every day? They rehearse. Okay. They sacrificed in the early days. A lot of times we waste time in the early days because we always figure we got time. Think about this. There's nothing wrong with it. But what happens is we misuse the early days. So that's why we end up going back to college at 45. Always go back whenever you're ready to go. But we misused. We didn't really understand what was going on. So now you're trying to reach back to third grade math and you can't even remember how to do 8 times 6. And they got a 40-page. I ain't never heard of problems that keep going. I ain't never heard of that before. I don't want none of that at all. A problem that takes 4 or 5 pages? Math? Man, I think I'll just fall out the desk, man. Hey, man, I done heard it, brother. Hey, man, I don't want no parts of that. None. So that's why with him pushing this dude, stay in there now while your brain is young. Stay in there now. Y'all stay in there now. You take a break will break you. Man, I'm going to take a little break. Man, little break will turn into years. And it won't be until you in some hot place slamming a sledgehammer saying, Lord, I wish I would have stayed. Now it's time to start sacrificing for your future and stop wasting time. It's like this with me right now. That's where I'm at. You want to discuss something? The next thing I'm going to ask you is, what's your plan? When I say that, most people I just want to talk. Well, right now we got to put plans. Plans got to be with what you're saying. Because without a plan, what you're saying will lay dormant. When the Father said in Genesis 3:15, this is what he said. What did he say? I forgot. I will send the Son. There's so much going on, man. I will send the Son and he will crush your. There you go. I'll put enmity between you and the woman and between your offspring and her offspring. He will bruise and tread your head underfoot, and you will lie in wait and bruise his heel. This is my solution to the problem, and I have a plan. This is my solution, and I have a plan. This is my solution to the problem, and I have a plan to go with it. God operated with solutions and plans. Okay? Jeremiah 29:11 says, I've already got you planned out. If you obey me. The doors continue to open as you obey. Don't roll on the floor, man. Roll on the floor. So this is how you got to look at this. You can't look at all this stuff that God says hypothetically. This is how I see it. When I see he say he has plans for me, I see my name on a piece of paper. All right? That's just me. I ain't saying a piece of paper in heaven. I don't know. But I see my name on a piece of paper, and he has everything written under my name for me. That's how I see it. So when I begin to press into God, I'm like, Lord, let me see that paper. If you just let me see that paper. And then what eventually happened is, boom, Kingdom Kids Academy in 2007 or in 2010. Boom, Kingdom Kids Academy. I don't know what this is going to be, y'all, but it's the name. Look at the paper. You see what I'm saying? You see pieces. Okay? Now, why should I show you the whole plan if you haven't decided to obey the first step? Quit looking for the whole plan. You won't even just go to square one. When he dealt with Abraham in Genesis, he said, go to a place, go to a land that I will tell you. Go to a land that I will tell you. Meaning, before I tell you the next phase, go there first. Go there first. So in every idea, every situation, there's a first step. Shout first step. There's a first step. That first step triggers the second step. The second step triggers the third step triggers the. So we're trying to get to square 6. Ain't stepped here first. Without moving, without making those steps, I can't even complain no more. I'm going to give you this here. I can't complain about not having enough money if I'm not trying to make a way to get it. I just ain't. It just ain't. These people, it's time for us to stop depending on people. I'll allow you to help me, but I'm not going to depend on you. You understand what I'm saying? I bet, man, if you could just, the thing that I've been thinking, but if we could just see inside ourselves. Close your eyes right now. And as we sit here, we begin to just meditate on the goodness of God. And Lord, I know you will never withhold anything good from me. I'm your child. So Lord, before you show me my next move, I'm decreeing and declaring that I am going to obey it. That's how you talk to him. Don't show me, Lord, and let me choose A, B, C, or D. No, Lord, I'm going to obey what you're saying now. Now. I'm going to obey now. Glory to God. Now, look at me. I want you to see this. A lot of times when you're walking into destiny, when you first start, it won't look like what you just saw. He just showed you. He just showed you the big old picture. And then it just goes right there. Now that don't look like what you showed me. Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi got his whole house painted, cars all fixed, all kinds of stuff happened. But when it came down to the war, old buddy knew the movements. But it didn't look like, man, Mr. Miyagi just using me, cuz. So you don't do it. So that means you haven't decided in your mind to obey ahead of time. Even though Mr. Miyagi is proven and he knows what he's doing, you don't trust the process. With God, he knows what he's doing. A lot of times we don't trust the process. Lord, I want. Lord, I need. This is what I feel. I want. So we don't trust the process. So we keep starting over. Well, I didn't think he was. All right. You didn't think he. Okay. We keep going in this loop. So we keep staying in that village. Shout, that village is too small for me. I'm too big for that. Now, I saw a quote from Michael Jordan. Watch this here. Watch what this man said. What do y'all think? Tell me what you think his best skill was. Just yell it out. Just yell it out. Y'all know how we do. His best skill was what? Dunking. All right. Anybody else? Y'all nervous? Y'all think he got an answer. I ain't finna get in that. Defense was his best skill. Intimidating people was his best skill. Huh? Pressure was his best skill. His work ethic was his best skill. Okay. You agree with that? You agree? Stand up then. Stand up. Stand up. For 10 points? That's the right answer, huh? So that's what y'all think. Can I tell you what he said his best skill was? Uh-oh. Y'all looking at me. His best skill, he said, my best skill as a superstar was being teachable. You didn't get the 10 points. He said, he quote from him. my best skill was being teachable. He said I was an aggressive learner. When the coach taught me something that day, I was practicing it that night. You hear that? This is the best man who ever touched the basket. He said the best skill I ever had, it wasn't my crossover, my fade, it was I was teachable. Wow. So right now, a lot of you sitting in these chairs, you're being taught. Right? But what was the key to him being taught? The same day, he went and did aggressively what he was taught. You know how I'm going to say it like this? I'm going to try to help you out. I know a lot of us, we have a good mind to do it. But what usually happens in about 3 hours, we don't remember it. Is that real? It's like, dog, I really wanted to do that because at 11:30, it sounded good when I was sitting there. But God dog, it's 3 now. I done ate. I done took a nap. I'm sleepy again. And I just don't remember. So now I have to sacrifice, because you can't say we haven't made it available for you to see it multiple times, however you can get it. It's ways to do it, but I have to be. Right now, I'm listening to Possess Your Mountain by Bill Winston. I promise you, I'm on my 60th time watching the same one. Why? Because I have to be able to aggressively go do what it's saying, and I can't do what it's saying if I don't remember it. How many fall into that category sometimes? You just, God dog, I just forgot how that went. That's why you have to, if you really want it, sometimes you have to go beyond what everybody else around you is doing. Some people can sit there, stare at me, and soak it in. They got it. Some people have to write it down. Some people got to listen to it multiple times. But whichever way it worked for you, don't be lazy and not do it. All right? Everybody want to be Michael Jordan. Nobody want to put their work in. Everybody want to be Michael Jackson. Another thing, I was listening to some interviews on his bodyguards. The bodyguards, they were security at his home. He guarded himself to the fact to where if you wanted to see him, you had to get an appointment. Even family. See, that's one. You don't mess with my family. You don't mess. See, we get to tripping on that kind of stuff. But he knew what he needed in order to get what he needed to get. So one thing the security guard said, his light will come on in his room, a light, but it wouldn't be a light. It would be a light moving around. So he would go like, man, what is Mr. Jackson doing back there? It's 2:30 in the morning. What is he doing? So one dude like, man, I'm going to see. I'm just going to go by there and see what he's doing. This was like, he was already in his 40s already. So the dude said he walked by the window, looked in. Michael Jackson, who has made it, he's fine, has a flashlight on, dancing in his bedroom with the flashlight on his feet. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Still rehearsing. Right there, you like, man, I don't know if I ain't getting up to do all that. What did he do? He know I got to keep this body moving. So they walked in. The dude said, I was just amazed that he had a flashlight in his room on his feet, and he's doing dance moves for 35, 45 minutes. So you get on stage, and you think you're going to stand beside him and just do what he do. Come on, Mike. Man, there's dance circles around you. Why? Because he's dancing at 2:30 in the morning while you sleep. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? If I want it, I have to become aggressive about it. I have to become aggressive. All this passive talking, all this passive whining, that stuff, I'm seeing myself small. In their eyes, we grasshoppers. I'm a grasshopper in my own eyes. That's that spirit of that villager lock-in happening to us. You're not trapped by your education. Kill that right now. Well, I don't have no diploma. You ain't dumb. You're not trapped by a piece of paper you didn't get. You're not trapped by all the papers you did get. That doesn't make boundaries for you. Do you understand me? All right, man. I'm feeling the push finna happen here, man. Y'all with me? So, The Hivite spirit and the parasite, they work together. We got this villager, this push down spirit. But another one of the major ones with the Hivite is deception. I have to lie to you to get you to believe that. I have to get you to believe the lie of you can't. Because once you believe the lie that you can't, once you believe, underline the word, believe the lie that you can't, that's what you'll manifest. I can't. Okay? Because whatever you believe, you give power to. And whatever you believe, you begin to act it out. So if I believe that I can't, I won't. All right? How many believe you can touch that beams up? How many believe you can touch it? You believe you can touch it? 2, 3. There you go. Most of us automatically, no. Why? Because we thought of our limited ability. Immediately when we're presented something, we automatically think of the limited ability of mine. Can you touch that beam? No. Shoot, that thing up there. So for what I can't reach, they've made assistance for me. The Holy Spirit has come alongside you to be that advocate, to be that counselor. I know you didn't learn it, but I can counsel you through it. I know you didn't get it in school, but I can teach you because I'm the ultimate teacher. So now, can you touch that beam? Oh, everybody, yeah. Some of y'all didn't say that a few minutes ago. There were 3 people that raised their hand. Why? Because he knows I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it. I can allow the tool that's given to me to assist me. Okay, y'all with me? Man, y'all kind of quiet today. It's making me nervous. Y'all thinking, right? That's what that is? That's what it is? Y'all all right? Because I'm looking at me. That's good. That's good. Okay, you're absorbing it. So I thought I'm going to get Michael to get a bucket of water. You ready? Y'all know the last time? Y'all know the last time I gave him that bottle of water, told him you see anybody sleeping, throw it on him? Remember when I told him that? And you know I wasn't going to do it. Do y'all believe I wasn't going to do it? I don't want to do nothing like that, man. So Mike, after it was over, I was sitting in the back. Mike was like, I still got the water. You didn't tell me to throw it on nobody. That dude was itching to throw that water, boy. So that's a little partner. You all right? Okay. Mike, can you touch that? Can you touch that? How can you touch it? Michael heard. If he can touch it with a ladder, look at your sister and the brother. If they can get out, if they can move forward, if they can put down all the criticism, if they can fight past that gate, y'all hear what I'm saying? So don't quit limiting yourself to your limited knowledge, because when the Holy Spirit comes in, if you really let him do what he wants to do, just set aside yourself and let him do what I love about God. When we finally surrender to him, he acts fast. God moves fast. And a lot of times he moves too fast for us. That's why we stop. Like, God, dog, all my friends gone. What happened? They wasn't. You looking around like, God, what in the world just took place? A typhoon came through here. Yeah, because he moved. When he's ready to go and you say you're ready to go. I don't believe that where it's at. So what's the language of this spirit? I can't. I'm small. I won't. I don't know if I can. Now, underline this when you write this down. That spirit creates a limited vision of your life. It creates a limited vision of life for me. It creates a limited vision of life for me. It creates a limited vision of life for me. Go to Judges chapter 6. How many of y'all hear me? It creates what? You know how that happens? I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you a little bit of that language. Somebody who hits the part of 50, 55 years old. Well, I'm over the hill now. I don't break that half point. But that talk is doing this. I'm already over. Over what? Over what? Well, let's really lay this out. What you really over? You don't know when you're going to leave here. You might not be halfway of nothing. It may be next week. You way over halfway if it's next week, and that's it. So you don't know where you at. So stop saying that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Look at it. What Judges 6. Look at verse 12. Watch this. This is how Gideon is. This is how he's greeted. Read that with me. Ready? Go. What did he say? Verse 15. Go to verse 15 and read that when they come up. Verse 15. Go back to 12. Read it again. Go to 15. That's the language. Y'all hear me? Is that not the language? That's the language of that spirit. Now, the angel of the Lord has said one thing about him, but he's choosing to believe this other thing that makes him less. Can't do. I'm weak. My village is weak, and I'm the weakest in the village. Wow. You see it? Wow. Okay. But the Lord, Gideon asked, how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh. Now, think about that. The angel just told him, you're going to be the one to save this whole nation. Now, I can see if my cousin was the one. See, he went to school. He got a good education. He lived on the other side of town. I can see him doing it. If you notice, the angel never responded to that. Yeah, whatever. I hear you. I'm seeing where your heart is. So your language is telling me what spirit is driving you. It's this spirit of can't, won't, I don't think I can, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to go back and think. Before I started to become smarter than God, what would I have chosen to do before I thought I knew more than God? What would I have done? One thing that always trips me out is I had to realize at the age of late 20s, or maybe 30s, my early 30s, that I can learn. It took me a while to really get that. Because in my mind, I had told myself that I don't like to read. I don't like to do this. I can't do that. But all I do now is read. I stay a whole day reading. So where was that at? That didn't just come on me. It was always there. So what's happening as you begin to unravel as a person, you begin to meet a person you didn't even know was in you. Like, golly, I am a nice person. See how the village trying to pull me back not to be that? You looking at it like that, man? Put a smile on your face, girl. So you got to look at yourself. I do know how to love properly. You got to start. I can. I might not know all the steps, but I am going to raise my kids right. I am. I don't really know what, all the little movements. But we got to just go jump rope for the first day to figure it out together. Let's go figure it out. So what I started doing, I started shifting the tide of this village that keeps me small. Can you really do? How many of you really want to do that? I don't want to be talking to people and preaching and teaching to people who just in here to enjoy church service. Because this ain't the place to just enjoy church service. Because you're going to get pushed. Because when destiny is calling your name, that's why a lot of us live so frustrated, because we off somewhere else away from what he told us to do. And the key to getting to your destiny is to walk in obedience, like I said earlier. So as you hear the truth, you begin to walk in the truth, and destiny begins to open up. Look, man, we got to stop prerequisiting God. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. Come here, man. Come here, man. Like you grew a little bit. Boy, that's good. You did? How tall are you for real? How tall are you, man? 5'6"? All right. Huh? Come here, Mike. How tall are you? How tall is Mike? What y'all think? Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. I was thinking, I said, I'm going to let him make it. Let dude sleep back there. Okay. What case in that? Go grab Kate. Go grab him right quick. Glory to God. It's all right, man. Little Mickle. I want your parents to come here. Bob, you and Rebecca come here. Don't be scared, Bob. Come on, man. Yeah, dude, cool. Oh, look at that strut. Come on, strut. He's still stretching, boy. Those stools got him stiff. Those stools got him stiff there, boy. Ma'am. Tell your mama to come here too, man. Bring all the little family in, little peoples in here, man. What's cold, man? Okay. Take off the shoes, man. Too tall. Hey, man, I be feeling the same way, cuz. Hey, man, I'm 6 foot something. This someone gonna come out of the restroom with them things. I'm like, man, you gotta put something else on, man. He walking around the room like this here, man. Look at here, man. How many of you, look at here, I've been knowing this fella for a long time, right? Little kids. You come over and bully me in my grandma's house. So we would go over there. He would come over there. But I did not know they were in him. Okay? I did not know this and this were in him. How many of y'all remember Monty back in the day? Little baby mystical. Hey, man. Wildcat. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. It's real quick. That was real quick. Baby milk, boom. It's gone. It's over. I want you to grab a hold of what I'm saying. We're going to go a little farther into this. I don't want to hold you too long, so watch this. I did not know that and that were in him. How many of you think if he would have been thinking that that and that were in him, he would have been making different decisions? He might have been doing things different, but at that time, he's not thinking about what's about to come out of him. He's thinking about right now. I'm living right now. So now, check this out. Him and her are in him, but he needed her to produce them. With anybody else, she or he wouldn't be here. It could have been another white lady. It's still. Okay? Yeah, we're going to go down in there. But while he was 13 at the swimming pool, God saw this. He chilling at grandma's house playing video games, bullying me out of my food. God still. Huh? I got the microphone. Be quiet. So God always saw that. But what if his village locked him down and he only had a preference for black women? I can't do that right there. That mentality, he wouldn't have him or her. How many of y'all seeing that? All along, God saw. Man, do y'all hear what I'm saying? Now you come over to these peoples. They produced. So when Bob was 8 years old, stealing bikes in China. No, I don't know if he did that. When he was in China, chilling, Video game dude, like a video game dude. What was you fishing? That dude was fishing. That's what he was doing. At 4.5 years old, by himself, going to the thing. So he's fishing at 12. You somewhere, probably, I don't want to say, I don't know. That's something going rough back in the day. I need to hear her autobiography. Neither one of them were thinking about that. But he was resting inside of him. But he needed to produce. They've had multiple kids, but all of them aren't from the same two people. 4 different people have come from them. And all 4 were resting. So that's why the Bible says we have to be intimate and know the Lord. Because he's the one that impregnates you with destiny and purpose. And he's the only one you can match up with to produce purpose. Only one. As much as I love her, she cannot make me pregnant with purpose. I cannot make her pregnant with purpose. He. Whoo! As much as Joseph loved Mary, he couldn't make Jesus. We here now. He could not, as much as he loved her, he could make James. He made James, but he could not make. She had to be. So in the physical realm, only these 2 people could make him. So I'm telling you, okay. So no matter, I got to get this out. Me and his mother aren't together anymore. We've been apart since 2003, 2004. But us 2, only us 2 could produce him. God aligned it in order to get this boy into this world, because I packed him with destiny. But the only way for him, with his genes and DNA, to get here, y'all 2 gonna have to see each other. Now, we can damage relationships, mess them up, but it's a reason why. So I don't count none of that as a negative thing. None of it. Because I look at this, and no matter what we may have went through, only us 2 could have made him. Are y'all with me? So here they come running along. Little Michael show up. How many of y'all see Bob in him? How many of y'all see Rebecca in him? Okay. So there's a blending of both of them that creates him. Well, the other one's in school. I mean, upstairs. Where Matthew at? He upstairs too. Now Matthew got more of her. That stuff be scary sometimes, man. I thought he had more of her till I saw his baby stuff. Your younger days. That's him. I didn't see that now. Because over time, Bob evolved into what you see now. He's still evolving. Mikey's still going. Mikey's not going to stay that size. So Mikey's still growing. But for a certain amount of time, watch this, the 2 who created him are responsible for him. Y'all hear what I'm saying? That's why I told you with kids, God made it so beautiful to where that's why kids have to have, that's why he designed it to where both people are responsible for the child. Okay, let me tell you how that works. When you say father, you mean your source and your sustainer. You're the one, you're my source, you're my sustainer. So the way God designed when he created the earth, anything that came out of something, that's what sustained it. Okay, the plants came out of the ground, so the ground sustains it. So you start seeing what God created, whatever it came out of, that sustains it. So that's why when you're born again, you come from him. So he is sustaining you. Okay, so when you make a child, part comes from the mama, part comes from the daddy. So when that happens, a part comes out of her and a part comes out of him. So that makes both people responsible, because whatever you come out of, that's what's responsible for you. You see how God did that thing, man? Just so beautiful. Let's keep going, though. So Michael decides, I'm leaving the village. I'm leaving the village. But he's leaving at 3 years old. What do you think the parents going to do? What you think about that? What you think about that, Josiah? They hurt that baby, didn't they hurt that baby? All of a sudden, Cadence says, I'm tired of this family. And she goes to the ground. I'm going to see, she might run off the wheel. And she just goes. What? That's what a lot of us do for real. That's what a lot of us do for real. We go out there, oh, this world is so hard. Let me get back on. Okay, look at this. So all of a sudden he decides, I'm gone, man. I'm 12 years old. Something got to happen. You 10 now. You 10. Since you said 13, you 10. But why do they care? Because he belongs to them. Well, he was 10 last one, right? 13 this time. Leaving the village. What's going on? But he feel like he ready. So Michael, he's 16 and he got driver's license now, so I can do whatever I want to do. Woo! He raring to go. 16. So right here, he turned 21. He's graduated now. He's graduated college. He's 23, 24. Uh-oh. See? They don't want you no more, cuz. You just got kicked out the house, man. So he's 24. I'm going to show you where we mess up at. He's 24, so what do we assume? Yeah. But what does he know? So we're throwing unknowledgeable people just because they turn a certain age. I can't wait till you get 18. If I'm still dumb as I was when I was 11, what good is that going to do for me to be 18 in the world with an 11-year-old head? But you 18 because you grown now. Grown. God talks about maturity being a certain level of knowledge. When he talks about being mature, it had nothing to do with your number. Because at the age of 8, the dude took over kingship at the age of 8 in the Old Testament and tore up all the stuff that Satan had lined up and reestablished the kingdom of God in that area. At 16 years old, he had tore down all the old Baal altars and everything and rebuilt the altars to the Lord at 16. But he was ready mentally. We keep throwing people out there that ain't ready. Then they come back home and we mad, but they not trained in nothing. So that's what's going on in the body of Christ. You got to be trained and taught. So when you're sent and the devil roars at you, you don't run home scared. Because he's going to do it. Check it out. So he's 24 years old. He's stable. He understands. He's doing well. Now he leaves. But what happens is they don't leave him. He leaves, but they don't leave him. Don't touch him. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. So what's happening? He's gone, but the Lord said, I will never leave you. So when he gets to stumbling, watch this, and he begins to fall back, and they let him stay there till he get his rest, till he get his head on right. He stumbles again. What are they doing? How many of you see God doing that with you every day? How many of you see that? How many of you are seeing that? It's over. You know what? Let me go ahead and take this pressure off of you, because you about to fall all the way on the ground. So what does that mean? Since you came from me, I'm going to sustain you. So this young man right here finally figures it out. He's trying to figure it out. He just don't get it. He just keep falling. Fall down, Mike. Fall. He keep falling. Fall the other way. Fall forward. He keep falling. But stay down. Follow direction. They see him fall. He 18 now. That boy 22 years old. He oughta. God doesn't handle us like that. You should have known where you did it. I'm just going. He don't handle us like that. So he's down, but they see him, and what do? Why? Because he belongs to them. So he still just can't get it. So he stumbles and falls again. This time he fell ugly, all on the ground, rolling around. He just all messed up. He just all in it. He is all in. He's still rolling around. He still can't take it. He's just out of there. So what's happening? The world is having their way with him. But what are they doing? Watching him. They're watching him because they understand this fire is going to burn some pieces off of him before we go rescue him. So he's down there and he's flipping and he's flopping, but then they know the perfect time. But through that last roll, he got something. So this time when they picked him up, he got something. I heard it too. I was going to ignore it. But that's my child. He ain't going to be able to take it too long. And the face, I didn't get that from me. The face didn't come from me. So he's still trying. He's still trying. And he runs off. And he falls way over there. But they're still. And at no point does it ever cross their mind to let him go. No matter how he feels, they've never had a thought that said, he ain't going to be nothing. So they begin to call his name. Michael, get up. What did he do when he heard his name? He looked for the direction that the name came from. Stay back on the floor, brother. You're moving kind of fast there. Just call his name. Michael. Michael, since he still belongs to them, he's waiting for the next command. All he heard so far is his Michael. Now you sound like
Michael.
Is that daddy? Close your eyes. Head down.
Michael.
Is that daddy?
Michael.
Is that daddy? Dude said no. Put thumbs down.
Michael. Michael.
Michael.
Michael. Michael, I see you. Look for me. Keep looking. Get up. Come on, come here.
That's his child. He never gave up, but it took some hearing on his part. He had to hear. He had to decipher through all the voices. Michael, 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 Michael. He kept, and then he heard Michael. And what did he tell him to do first of all? Focus on me. Put up Hebrews 12. 1 through 2. Let's go to 1 first. What did he tell him to do? Fix his eyes well? Okay, go to verse 2. Let us do what? Keep going. Let us fix where? What did he tell him after he called his name? Look for me. Shout, I'm being restored as I sit here. I'm being restored as I sit here. I'm being recalibrated as I hear this word. My faith is telling me the Lord has never, ever, 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 ever left me. Never left me. Through every situation, as doors closed in my face, as people left me, as I didn't understand this season of my life, now I'm seeing he always had his eyes on me and he never left me. That's why I'm able to sit in this room today, because I made it through that moment when I thought I wasn't going to make it. Y'all can be seated, man. How many of you grab that? When you stumble back, he holding you up. When you fall, he picked you up. We got to understand that. Those lying spirits that keep telling you can't, you ain't, and you won't. That's what they are. Lying spirits. Because they work for the father of lies. So anything any other spirit tells you besides the Holy Spirit is a. When you hear the you can'ts, know who that came from. When you hear that you won't, that ain't God. That ain't God. You got that ain't God. That's not God telling me that. How many of y'all with me, man? What I'm going to do, I'm going to do something different this Sunday. I've never done this before. I'm going to do this. What we're going to do, we're going to end service. We're going to end service. Everybody getting ready for what they got to do. And we're going to end service. But in 15 minutes, after the service is done, I want to go to a place to where we begin to break off these spirits. But I want you to be there if you want to do that. I'm not going to even do it in this room. I'm going to do it upstairs. And I want you to be sure. I want this gone because I'm going to share some very intimate stuff with you. And I want you to be sure that I'm done with this small village lockdown mentality. Okay? Because when you finally decide to move past failure, to move past fears, you attract a different level of demon. I'm not finna sit here and tell you, oh, once you break out, it's gonna be beautiful. No. The enemy comes in opportune times, and one of the opportune times for the enemy to come at you is when you're high on life. When you're high on, man, I just broke through. Man, I feel good. My emotions is good. And he'll just interject right there, because usually when we get high, we get complacent. We get distracted. We're not as focused. When we're going through an emotional high, we get off. So what we're going to do today is solidify, but I don't want to hold people too long. So this is a choice. Singers, come up. If you're in this room and you're not saved, you need to get saved. If I wasn't saved right now, I'd get saved. How many of y'all